Hi, I'm Symphoneers, and today we're taking a look at Azorius Bling. This is a list that has been performing well for me in the games with it so far. Only 9-2, which is not like super statistically, significant on its own. This is kind of based off of a mono-white deck that I did have like 20 games on and was kind of struggling. It was doing okay, but I thought I could do better, and this is better. Way down in the 1-drop slot, we have 3 Lunarch Veterans. These are to help just stabilize us against kind of mostly mono-red, although the life gain ends up being relevant in a lot of matchups. Also in the 1-drop slot, we have 4 Elspeth's Smite, just from playing a bunch of mono-red and stuff. I was like, hey, I hate this when control opponents have like 2 or 3 of these in hand. I should probably be playing it in white decks, and yeah, it's been good. Felt good. Kills most cheap creatures, most like 1 to 3 drops that see play in standard, so, thumbs up. We're also running 4 ossifications, deals with whatever, which is great. We are, of course, running a full playset of the goodest dog in standard, Spirited Companion. Just good value card. If people are playing, Shieldred's Verdict or whatever, any kind of edict or non-specific removal effect, it's a great thing to sack to that because it's not super high value, or like you get all the value when the dog ETBs. And then the rest of the deck, it's one of the primary blink targets we have for like Guardian of Girapur or the Twinning Twins, Swift Spiral, the adventure on Twinning Twins, or it's also a great thing to get back with Extraction Specialists. These are just a way for us to play a lifelinker kind of early on our curve that also, if the opponent has been removing our stuff or whatever, has a little bit of additional value tied onto it. We don't need to get something back with Extraction Specialist. Occasionally it will just be a 3-2 lifelinker for 3. Worth briefly noting, if you're unfamiliar with the play pattern, you can blink the thing that Extraction Specialist gets back in order to have it enter as a new creature, and it will no longer be kind of locked behind the Extraction Specialist's effect. So that kind of helps make it a little bit more flexible and powerful in this deck too, and you can of course also just blink the Extraction Specialist, get back some more dogs or whatever. We're running 2 Guardian of Girapurs just as a nice kind of mid-range blink enabler, also just a 3-3 flyer, which is pretty good. It'll kill people dead faster than you think. We have 1 Loran of the Third Path in the deck, just because it can be a good card to hit and take out like a Hallowed Haunting or even a Kamana Faces Kakazan or whatever. Yeah, just often will kill something on the ETB, and then if the opponent's playing a lot of artifacts or whatever, we can probably blink her. So she's a good role player in the list. We are playing 4 Werefox Bodyguards, just brutal Cathar, but better. It's just so flexible. So much of this deck's unique play comes from Werefox Bodyguard being able to protect things at instant speed or remove things at instant speed, and also being able to blink the Bodyguard to keep it on the field or to like readjust what it's removing. We're playing 3 Wandering Emperors in the list. Just continues to be extremely good removal. And we're playing a full playset of Twinning Twins, which is a card that, like, power level-wise, landed exactly where I thought it would, based on the spoilers, which is to say, neither half of the card is, like, A+ stellar on its own. The Swift Spiral's a little bit mana inefficient. Twinning Twins are, like, fine, but it's when you kind of staple them together that it becomes a much more compelling card, because like Swift Spiral can be early interaction, help prevent you from taking damage on early turns even if you've drawn a very creature heavy hand with like a couple of them in a hand. Blink the opponent's Monastery Swift Spear after they Monstrous Rage it or whatever, stop yourself from taking 7 damage. Great! And then you can of course blink your own stuff. You can protect things from wraths with it too, just very flexible adventure even if it's not like maximally mana efficient. And then the twins themselves, just kind of good raw beater stat line. The word 1, it hasn't really stopped them from getting removed. I think the thing it's done more frequently, though, is that it has stopped the opponent from effectively double spelling. So like the opponent will go for the throat, take it out for 3 mana instead of 2 mana, and oh, that means I know they don't have say enough untapped mana for counter magic or whatever, and that's an advantage I can use on my turn, which, great. That's about the kind of ceiling for Ward 1's performance, I think, and it comes up, so I'm happy with it. In the 5-drop slot, we're playing a bunch of virtues, 2 Virtue of Loyalties. The kind of notable thing here is that the adventure is instant speed, which means that it can just, like, block a Kumano or whatever, like, block a 2/2 and take it out. And then the big 5-drop half of it is actually what gives us a lot of inevitability or, like, finishing power with our deck, because a lot of our creatures are not especially good. Spirited Companion may be a good boy, but it's not a good clock. When you put a counter on it every turn, though, it becomes much scarier. When the Lunarch Veteran or Luminous Phantom are getting counters on them every turn, and the Guardian of Ghirapur is becoming a 6/6 or whatever, then we can close out the game a lot more effectively, a lot more cleanly, which is great, and it's been doing good work on that front. One of the big kind of learning points from playing a mono-white build of kind of similar deck was just, you don't really need like 4 Virtues of Loyalty, 2 does the job pretty well. We're also playing 1 Virtue of Knowledge, just because we are a very kind of Blink or ETB-oriented deck. The adventure part of it is actually surprisingly playable, or like easy to tuck into turns. And then similarly to Virtue of Loyalty, the kind of big enchantment side of it does help us close out the game, not as directly, but when every dog is drawing 2 cards, when every ossification is removing 2 cards, when every Werefox bodyguard can take 2 things out, we tend to generate the resource advantage required to end the game a lot quicker. And we're playing 2 Steel Seraphs. This is just a nice 3-drop, effectively, that can give other creatures flying, lifelink, whatever you need to not die and pressure your opponent, and etc. The nice thing with this deck, or the most relevant thing with this deck, is you do get to do the kind of prototype blink trick sometimes of, you know, maybe your opponent is trying to remove it. Haha, tuck it under Werefox Bodyguard, save it from the removal. Then when Bodyguard gets got, it will enter the battlefield as a 5/4. Nothing too complicated in the mana base, giant pile of duels, 1 Murex, and the channel lands. And yeah, that more or less covers the deck. If you like the deck and like the video and all that, like, subscribe, etc. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. It helps the channel a lot. Liking and subscribing, not whatever this is. Anyway, this deck tech has been too long. Let's get on to some actual gameplay. I think I'll take this hand. In particular, I always like a curve of Spirited Companion into Guardian of Ghirapur, and then we do have some interaction too in mostly Smite and Ossification, although Loran can also deal with enchantments or whatever. Bye, Loran. Just the narrowest thing in our hand. Hopeless Nightmare, our opponent's playing like mono black attrition or whatever. Okay. Buy one of the Elspeth Smites. We are just keeping the dog in hand because it can help us generate us some value, especially if it actually survives the turn cycle and we get to blink it. At this point, if they play more discard, we chuck a land or something probably. They go for a Tenacious Underdog, sure. We will just do this, just Guardian, yep. Words are hard. Guardian of Ghirapur, the Spirited Companion. It's late. It's late. I've already, I had a game I'll be cutting because I just made like 4 different bad puns. It was just like, oh no. Anyway, it's fine. We'll be fine, don't worry about it. Opponent, 4 mana, so Sheoldred. It's the only 4-drop legally playable in Standard, did you know? Otherwise, Richard Garfield will come to your house and break your legs. The opponent crundles on in with the underdog. I don't know why I said crundles. That's a bad word. Also not actually a word. We can't bring back Loran. Not sure if we're blocking with the Spirited Companion. One option we have is... yeah, I think I actually do like... I definitely should have just ossificationed pre-combat. Is that true? God, I'm just gonna play at the Extraction Specialist and do the thing my brain is like clunking slowly towards. Just good to get a lifelinker down. We have efficient removal in hand. I want to save the ossification for a bigger threat, a better threat than underdogs. we're not blocking the underdogs. Jadar is not a bigger or better threat, but I'll kill Jadar too. Just you watch. By underdog. They get exiled, which is nice. Elspeth's Smite doing work. Okay. I would like to Lunarch Veteran. Yeah, I think I definitely should have blocked with the Spirited Companion, got it back with Extraction Specialist, shot something on prior turns. There's a lot of, like, interconnected parts with this deck, and apparently tonight my brain is just, like, not doing them, so hopefully the rest of the recording goes a little bit smoother. Yeah, just do this, just cause if they're playing Jadar, I can't imagine they're playing a good deck, although they still might be playing Shieldrids or something. But we hold up the Elspeth Smite for the underdog. They're gonna shoot the Extraction Specialist. Candy Grapple. Taking out the Extraction Specialist. They bargain a Hopeless Nightmare just to do a bit of scrying. Okay, so we hit the opponent for 4. End turn. I'm holding on to the Igonjo just because it's a generic bit of removal. Okay, they hit another Hopeless Nightmare, sure. The life gain in this matchup, or like the Lunarch Veterans, little pings or whatever, may be doing some work. They don't attack with the underdog, somewhat annoyingly. Just keep sitting on this Elspeth Smite. Lunarch Veteran heals us, and we draw a card. Werefox Bodyguard. I will do this just so we can smite proactively. We, of course, are not actually pushing damage with the Spirited Companion, we just want to get a valid target for smite. Opponent might be playing sack effects if they're playing Jadar, like a... We don't still have Village Rites in Standard, do we? We have a bunch of, like, Village Rites or Deadly Dispute kind of loose equivalents. We have... I'm thinking of the Ajani, one black mana spell that draws 2. We do have that card in Standard. Anyway, the opponent's scrying for Hopeless Nightmare, or doing a Hopeless Nightmare scry again. Me just sitting quietly while they scry. Ooh, doot. Meow, 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 meow. Scry yourself to death. Hi, Shieldred. Oh, who could have guessed? Who'd have thunk? Who could have imagined that such a card would be played localized entirely within this game? Ossification, good backup if they have removal for the bodyguard. We are unable to crack the bodyguard in response to removal. They have a Lord Skitter? So is this just... okay? Live your best life, opponent, I guess? Versus the mono black pile, we are able to do stuff. So, I'll take it. I'll take a win. Good games to the opponent. I'll take this hand. We have stuff to do up the curve, like Lunarch Veteran on 1. Something with Twinning Twins or Elspeth Smite on turn 2. Maybe, depends what the opponent's playing. A Werefox Bodyguard on 3, again, sort of a maybe. And then, of course, Twinning Twins on 4. Oh, they're here. Been getting some slow players tonight, which is not good for, like, me being sleepy and or punting. So Lunarch Veteran down on 1, opponent on black. Who'da thunk? Cut down. Wow, stunning, brilliant, innovative, stylish and daring. Even where does the opponent get their deck building ideas? 2 more years until we can... Yeah, anyway. Do you think they'll go for the throat? Or perhaps Oh, a classic. Stylish. Daring. Cunning. I don't know what I'm doing. So we have the Virtue of Loyalty at... this is a video. Virtue of Loyalty, spit out a knight. This is better than doing the Werefox Bodyguard, probably, or like if they don't play out a creature for us to deal with via the Bodyguard, just spit out a knight because same stat line and it is not interaction. We will not remove that with the Bodyguard, because we will remove that with Elspeth's Smite or Ossification. Don't want to get it, or is that even true? We definitely don't want to, yeah, Bodyguard, like Ossification, can be awkward for removing certain targets. Graveyard Trespasser, it's not that the Trespasser re-entering is especially bad, it's that, having to pay the ward cost again is especially bad. Pardon me, our ossifications don't work here, that's fine. Let's see how this happens. I mean, yeah, given that our ossifications are... This is one reason why we're running a fair amount of non-ossification removal, too. It's like, it's good to have options for when this kind of land draw happens. So we go in with the Elspeth's Smite there. Upkeep, stop. Sorry, I got confused for a second. Whoop. Bye, Shieldred. Get in my fox. We have a dog. How can the opponent win now? We have a dog. We would really like to draw a basic land for several reasons. We can just blink Shieldred for a turn here. I kind of don't hate that. It's a weird tempo play. Although I... That's something we can maybe do next turn if we're still, like, struggling for land and stuff. Lunarch Veteran helping to offset the fact we're dinging ourselves with Shieldred's effect here. Yeah, opponent back up to 20, which is the thing. Each creature with power 2 or less, okay. So yeah, Gix's command, they're pretty bad for us. Good news is, if we simply draw a basic land, no, okay. Love to draw no lands and then only lands. I'll take this hand. Stuff to do on 1, 2, 3, early land drops. I guess our tapped land or like Deserted Beach will come in tapped on 2. So maybe we're just hoping to like draw a basic or something. I'll take it. Darkar Wastes means we get to play out the dog and do value stuff. Get in with the Lunarch Veteran. Elspeth's Smite. Okay. So are we versus control? That is soldiers. Our soldiers matchup is pretty good. Control is less good, I think. Just because we don't really need to take out Harpin here. I guess I will keep my options open. We miss a point of damage by opting for the flexibility, but in particular, I want to play around a Thalia. They could play other soldiers that we are less fussed about. I'll do this here. They might actually be sequencing properly into like not playing out Thalia pre-combat, but we're just... yeah, we would also remove 1 or 2 other things. So they can get Harbin back eventually. Don't play cooped up. It's just play ossification. Anyway, limited removal. Hey, oh, let's go. Dog. Let's do one swift spiral here. And turn, draw a card. More twinning twins. Okay. I mean, this is kind of cute, actually, huh? I wasn't... For some reason, I thought the cooped up exile might be a cost or something. Like, happen instantly. I don't know why I thought that. Again, it's late. So brain go... but yes, we can flicker it in response to the activation, and keep Harbin tucked, which is pretty cool and good. I am going to keep doing value things. This is potentially a little bit slower than like playing out Twinning Twins and trying to kill them a little bit faster, but I do find that opting for value just helps ensure that we don't run out of resources and stuff, and that we keep having like interaction for dealing with threats, and so on and so on. That's one nice thing about this deck as compared to other decks, I think. Do ha 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 ha. Oh, our opponent probably surrendering a little bit prematurely there, but after the last game, I'll take it. I'll take just having like perfect twinning twins swift spirals constantly. Great. Good games to the opponent. I'll take this hand. Elspeth's Smite for early interaction. We can Virtue of Loyalty onto, spit out a creature, maybe like effectively remove a thing if they're playing mono red or something. Or we just, yeah, instant speed Knight, Steel Seraph on 3. Not really looking to blink anything. Maybe we do something with the Steel Seraph, but I don't really look super aggressively for the Steel Seraph like blink trick. I don't think it's generally a good use of mana, just like giving it a +2/+1 effectively. There's other prototype blinks that are a lot more impactful. Steel Seraph is just kind of like pretty good. Not backbreaking or anything. Anyway, we instant speed Knight, the opponent Iron Craigs. We will, yeah, do the Steel Seraph. We miss a pip of life gain or whatever by not playing out the Lunarch Veteran, but that's fine. That is a concession I'm willing to make. So our opponent on like Naya something rampy-ish so far. Oh, it's Domain. Okay. Not a big fan of Domain decks. But you know. I should have done this on the thing itself for lifelink. Don't mind me, just... Ooh, win or lose, this might be the last game of the day, just because I don't know, my brain's not working tonight. Normally I don't skip the adventure on Twinning Twins just because I do think it's good value, but like we don't have like great things to blink. I guess we have the line of like Lunarch Veteran, blink Steel Seraph, hold up Elspeth's Smite for something. But in this scenario, I'm more interested in just having pressure on board so that we can hit like planeswalkers or something. They stormed the festival into an Elishnorn, which is fine, or like, yeah, pretty okay-ish for us. Flying. Big smashy 3 attack, yes. We can Wandering Emperor put a counter on something. I don't know that I love it. Hold the Wandering Emperor, their entire board has vigilance. So yeah, Wandering Emperor, pretty awkward in this matchup specifically. Reach Trample, huh? Reach Trample, gain 5, kill my flyer. Gain, oh, that's an ETB trigger, huh? Oh, they just, like, really double up on that stuff, huh? Kind of weird? Or, like, I don't know, just killing creatures is pretty good. They also maybe should have attacked with Elishnorn, given that I didn't have enough power and toughness there to do anything, but... or, like, I could have flashed in the Emperor, they presumably wouldn't have known that. Yeah, we can crack, sorry, now I'm just thinking. We can actually crack the shield counter off the Titan with one of the Elspeth Smites. We are looking to just swing in with 4/4s though, then. Little bit awkward, but like, I think this is worthwhile. Do lifelink. Theoretically, we could give one of the 2/2 flyers. I'm more excited about giving a 2/2 flyer flying after we've dealt with the Reacher. Oh, Twinning Twins. Doing twinning... okay, so they don't try to hard block the Seraph, so that's something. Yeah, so shoot it twice. We get the Titan off the board. Lunarch Veteran. Land for Virtue of Loyalty would be pretty good for us. We cannot really handle them doing more go big stuff, unfortunately, so, you know. Definitely hoping that they don't have anything super spicy in hand. This is fine-ish. I don't really want to lose creatures here. Or, like, none of our blocks are good enough that I'm excited about taking them, so we let this happen.
Years of training for this?
Steel Seraph, give something flying. Herd Migration, bunch of beasties, sure. Huh. Weird game. So, flying, bing bong, hit them for 6. Hold up stuff. We might potentially... No, I said I was maybe thinking about doing the bodyguard. Elishnorn stops ETBs. So that's dead. That's good to catch my own punt before it happens. Only domain 4 on the herd migration, which is good for us. We're also at 28. All of our kind of incidental life gain stuff being relevant here in that it means we don't have to super aggressively block things. Sure, we might have to super aggressively block things. I have to do math now anyway. 15, 23... Sorry, 15, 23... They definitely should have attacked there. Let's keep looking at this board for a second, just to be like, you know, play the rest out after the fact. They attack with everything. They are full sending for, sorry, 23. I keep not finishing the thought. 31, so we do have to block. Or we flash in the Emperor, we exile a beast token, that plus the life gain makes us safe. We have flyers and things then. They presumably don't have, like, good, high-quality interaction in hand, no leyline bindings or whatever, based on the surrender there. So we do get the win, or, like, we're okay there. We do get a little bit lucky with how everything lined up, although, well, the double Elspeth Smite on the Titan is kind of lucky-ish. Also, an ossification or something would have been like a 1-card answer that's quite a bit cleaner, actually, than what we ended up doing. So even though that, I said that, I again forgot about Elish Norn. Boy, this card is really good against this deck. Good thing it sees, like, almost no kind of consistent or broad play. Panharmonica, whatever. Wow. It's late and I'm tired. Hope you'll have a good life. I don't know. Bye. Thank you for watching the video, and an extra big thank you to the Patreon patrons and YouTube members that help make these videos possible. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.